Y'all, welcome back to one of my videos. It's me, Miss V, and I'm here to teach you guys some math. Specifically, we're going to go over some geometry. And today we're going to keep on with our exploration and we're going to talk about the triangle sum theorem. Triangle sum theorem, okay? Now, for those of you who have heard of this theorem is basically that it says when you add the three angles inside a triangle, and for triangle, I'm just going to draw a little triangle. When you add the three angles inside a triangle, you should always get 180 degrees, okay? So if you have three angles inside a triangle, they're always going to equal 180 degrees when you add them together. If they do not, that means you do not have a triangle, okay? So, for example, let's say I have this triangle here, and I tell you find angle A, and I tell you this angle over here is 62 degrees, and this one is 70 degrees. Well, to find angle A, you can set up a formula. So we know that A plus 62 plus 70, since those are the three angles inside of your triangle, they should equal 180 degrees, because when you add three angles in a triangle, it is 180 degrees according to the triangle sum theorem. So now adding these things together, we have A plus 62 and 70, which is 132 equal to 180. And finally, to solve for A, just subtract 132 on both sides. Cancels this out. So that A equals 180 minus 132, which is, doing some maths here, 48. 48 degrees, okay? Now, another way my students like to do this is they like to just add these two angles together and then do 180 minus these two. That's exactly what I just did. I just wrote it as a formula, okay? So if you want to just add these two angles together separately, so for example, just do 70 plus 62 on the side of your paper to get 132. And then 180 minus 132 is exactly what I just did, okay? All right, so how do we know triangle sum theorem is true? Well, we can prove it using rigid motion. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a triangle here for us, okay? And I'm going to try to draw it with my tool so it looks nice. So I'm going to draw this triangle here, and I'm going to label these angles A. Let me change the colors a little bit so we can see how they change. So this is going to be A, B over here, and let's put C up here, okay? So this is my triangle, and these are the three angles inside of the triangle, okay? I'm going to grab this triangle, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it twice. Here's 1, 2, and there is the third triangle, okay? Now, with these triangles, I'm going to leave the triangle in the middle. That's going to be the original triangle. So this one right here, I'm not going to mess around with it. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to grab this triangle here, okay? And I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees, okay? So I'm going to rotate it like this. Okay. And I kind of resized it a little bit. I made it a little bit bigger by accident. Didn't mean to do that. But I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees and put it right there. Then I'm going to grab this triangle here and slide it right over there on that side. Okay. Now, notice down here we have angles A, C, and B. And if you look closely, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. If you look closely, those three angles, they make that straight green line that I just drew, okay? And we all know already that an angle measures 180 degrees. So this is a proof using rigid motion that when you rotate a triangle, and I'm going to draw the midpoint. Let's draw the midpoint in this magenta color. So here's the midpoint of that segment. Here's the midpoint here. And let's see, this is triangle A. B, and C. This is triangle ABC. Put a C over there and put a B over here. Okay. So basically what that means is if I rotate the original triangle 180 degrees, 180 degrees, about the midpoint of one side of the triangle and the midpoint of the other side of the triangle, then I show that those three angles add up to 180. Okay. So this is just a proof showing that when you do a rigid motion on that triangle, since we're doing a rigid motion, we're not changing the size or shape of it. So the triangle is going to stay the same. So the three angles inside of a triangle add up to 180. And that is triangle sum theorem in a gist, okay? As always, you know, it can get a little more complicated, like the angles could have another variable or like a short expression in there. But if you guys want to see some examples of that, go ahead and comment on this video and let me know that you want to see some examples where it gets a little more complicated. And I will be happy to provide them. And if not, I will see you guys in another video. Bye, y'all. Make sure to like and subscribe.